All right, thank you very much. Welcome back to Robot Wars Extreme Warriors on the new TNN. The Texas Tornado and Surf Force Alive were blown out of the competition in round one. Let's go to the battle boards and get the round two matchups.
All right, Mick, we're going to see Conquering Clown 2 up against Black Widow. But first up, the Brute and Unibite. Down to you, Carol.
Very exciting second round. We've got Brute versus Unibite. Unibite, what's your advantage?
I think our advantage is this big spinning disc that could possibly rip his tires right off of this robot once it gets up to full speed.
Okay, Brute, what do you think about that?
I'll just say the other robots he came into contact with were nowhere near as tough as us. We see that he's got plenty of weaknesses we'll take advantage of, and just do our best.
Okay, well, it's going to be exciting. Let's see.
Hi, I'm Mike. This is Julio. This is Ron. We're Team Vicious, and this is our robot Brute. It's a solid steel frame, all welded. We've got 1,000 RPM, 23-pound spinning drum. We've got upgraded wheels and hardened axles. Goes about 8 miles an hour. As tough as anything you've ever seen, and we're going to break some bosses.
I'm Jerome, this is Chris, and this is Eric. This is our robot Unibite with the 29-inch disc and the lifter tail. One bite out of either weapon and the other robot will be dead.
Roboteers, stand by.
Well, there's Unibite closest to you and Brute in the distance. And the Team Vicious for Brute with Mike Regan at the controls. There's Team Duct Tape for Unibite with 16-year-old Jerome Miles at the controls. And guarding the CPZs will be Sergeant Bash with a flamethrower. And joining him, Sir Kill-A-Lot.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Well, Brute's wheels are really vulnerable to some spinning action, which is what Unibite is all about. So if they know any better, they're going to stay away from that disc. But look at the drum on Brute. He's just going in after Unibite, totally putting Unibite on the defensive. Unibite spinning around in disbelief. And the Brute came in with that drum, and now it's in there with a spike. Totally discombobulated the spinning disc. I think what happened was the Brute went in there with that drum and bent that disc so the tooth doesn't have clearance through the chassis of Unibite. Unibite's only got that lifting arm left, and it doesn't seem to have a whole lot of speed to use it. Meanwhile, Mike Regan at the controls for Brute is certainly running circles around its opposition. Brute's got the power of pushing. The grinders are going. The Unibite better come up with something real quick, or else they're going to be bot fodder. There's the drum of Brute getting going again. Seems to me Unibite's pretty well protected from the sides, so the strategy would be to get into it with that spike if he can. He's already done damage to Unibite's spinning disc as Sergeant Bash gets out of the corner patrol zone, and Unibite, with a bit of strategy on its own, goes into the pit trigger. They better hope for a miracle here. They haven't exhibited so much pushing power, but if they can trick the Brute into the pit, it'd be the Brute down the chute, and that'd be all she wrote. Yeah, interestingly enough, it looks like Unibite is hanging around in front of the pit as well, hoping maybe Brute will just kind of cruise by and fall by the wayside. Oh, no! Look at that! The Brute takes himself out! Unbelievable! Wow, just as I said it, they did it. Better keep my mouth shut in the future. But Unibite is loving this. Look at that, hanging around the edge, and goodbye down the chute.
Cease.
All right, well, with all the weapons shot, it was a battle of strategy, and it seems like Unibite used the better strategy, Brute going into the pit. We're going to talk to all the contestants and see what went down. Okay, now guys, you got to be feeling pretty miserable right now. You nullified their weaponry, you were the aggressors, and then you kind of got over-aggressive, and we saw what happened.
Well, we're running different radio frequencies. We had a little trouble over near the pit. Drifted a little, you know. Just put me out of my misery now, man.
All right, but I saw you. You looked really upset there. I kind of got a kick out of that, but you did a good job. You guys kind of pulled one out, a strategic victory, I guess. The best thing you could have possibly done is hit that pit button. Is that correct?
That's the best thing we could have done. Once both our weapons were taken out, we knew that was the only way. So we hit the button, and we tried to drive back and forth in front of it and see if he'd miss.
And see if this guy would be dumb enough to try to ram you and miss. And apparently, you were. So thank goodness, because it was looking like a judge's decision, and I think it would have gone to Brute. But you guys, with the strategy, the technology, the guts, the fortitude, you pulled it out. You all did a great job. Well, pretty good. Let's hear it for all the Roboteers.
So there it is. Brute commits roboticide as Unibite goes through to the finals to meet either Conquering Clown or the Black Widow.
Oh, guys, that was tough.
Well, you know, I'll say even some of the best robots out there drive into the pit. This was just another example of that happening. We were clearly the better bot, and we tore him up. You know, it was a clear victory. If we had just stayed away from the pit, we would have won.
Brute lived up to his name, pummeling Unibite, but he was overwhelmed by his own aggression and drove himself right into the pit. Oh, whew. Anyway, Unibite wins the match and gets a free ride to tonight's finals. Is Unibite a contender or a pretender? When we come back, the Conquering Clown takes on the Black Widow. Don't go away.